When picking up with a gun dog, you should be able to sit the dog there off the lead, and the dog shouldn't move until you tell it. Whether you're on the drive and the guns are shooting, or whether you're just standing back and waiting for the whistle to go. The reason we keep the dog off the lead during the drive is if a runner comes down, we can send the dog and the dog can get to the fall without any distraction. If you have to bend over, take the lead off the dog, line the dog up, you haven't trained the dog right. The dog should be sitting out in front of you and watching what's happening, and it should be minimum of handling. You should be able to handle when you need to, but only handle when you need to. The dog should go out there and pick it because the dog is visually seen it. If you've trained the dog right, you've taught the dog to watch out in front. When a bird comes down, you watch your dog, you know to send the dog. The dog's not allowed to swap birds. The dog must go to the fall, pick the bird and come back. Simple as that, and wait for the next command. The dog isn't allowed to go out there and run around like a headless chicken. I see it so many times on shoots. Anybody who tells you you should keep a dog on a lead during the drive, they haven't got a clue. They don't know how to train a gun dog. I see it, I've heard it, I disagree with it 100%. There's a real art in doing this job properly, a real skill. And it doesn't matter what sort of dog you've got, if you train it right, they're an asset on the shoot and an asset to work. You have to educate them, and a young dog is going to make a few mistakes. But if you get your training right in the first place, and you've got the drive and desire because you've not suppressed it, the dog's not looking back at you all the time for guidance. The dog is doing the job you taught it to do before it went on the shoot. Anybody who takes a dog on a shoot untrained is a fool. A fool in my eyes, because you're putting the dog up for failure and not success. You have to build this up in your training. Look how well behaved these dogs are, but look how good they are at doing their job. There's not a lot of screaming and shouting at these dogs. They have been educated and they know what they're supposed to be doing in that situation. Even though some of these dogs have never really been on many shoots, you've educated them before you take them on the shoot, and that's the important part. Anybody can show off with a trained dog. Anybody can show a dog with 4 or 5 years experience doing it so well. The skill set is getting these youngsters in their first season, when you take them on their shoot and they may be 2 years old, that they understand what you want them to do because you've schooled them way beforehand in every aspect of it. You want them to listen to you, you want them to retrieve the game without damaging it, but you want the dog to use its own brain. And once they start to know what they're doing, they pick their advantage points for picking up. They go to a point where they can see better and they know better. You don't need a dog sitting right at your feet, perfect as a gun dog. A working dog, you can give more leeway to a working dog compared to a competition dog, but a working dog is worth its weight in gold. A competition dog is a dog you've set up for competition, you've trained for competition. Look where he's gone. He's gone to the high bank to watch the birds because he gets a better advantage point. I never taught him that. He's learnt that. Why? Because I haven't suppressed the behavior that he's a robot. I don't want a robot, I want a working dog. I love working dogs. I love dogs that really work hard for you in the field and love what they're doing. And these dogs love what they're doing. They're born to do this. It's in their genetics. We breed quality, you train quality, you end up with quality. It's as simple as that. It takes time and dedication to build up to this, and it doesn't happen overnight. It comes with hard work, repetition. But look at the dogs, they absolutely love it. They're so focused, they're not watching me, they're watching what's going on. He's watching every bird that hits the deck, and it's my job to send him for the ones that I want him to pick, not run around like an headless chicken behind the guns after the drive. After the drive, we sweep up. We let the dogs go out and free hunt and find anything left out there. But this is the true skill set of getting that dog to the fall, getting that bird, that runner, picked and back in the bag without disturbing the guns too much. In that situation, look, he ran in front of the gun. I would have preferred him to come behind the gun, but I knew he wasn't going to cause a problem because it was a runner on that corner and I wanted that bird picked quickly. So I made that choice. But I know if I blow that stop whistle, that dog's going to stop. So if I see something going to happen that could cause a problem, I'll blow the stop whistle. But look at the eye contact. Look how he's watching everything that's going on. He's absolutely adoring the job that he does in the field. And that's what I train. I train gun dogs, and I train people how to train gun dogs to a very, very high standard. And that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about educating people, giving people the tools to train a dog to the standard that you've trained dogs in the past to, so they can have that quality of life that you've had with those beautiful, wonderful dogs that we love. Just because we use discipline, just because we use corrections, look what we've got. We've got dogs that want to work for you, dogs that are so happy to work for you, and that's the important thing. These dogs live for going out with you and training. They live for going out on the shoots. As soon as you put your boots on and your jacket on and they see you come in the kennel, they're all jumping for joy because they want to come out with you. That's the focus we put into these dogs with the training we put into these dogs. And just because we use discipline at the right time, this dog would never have made the grade if he hadn't had firm discipline at the right time. This dog was a gladiator, but turned into the most loyal, honest, loving dog you could imagine. But he was a headstrong teenager. He had to have discipline. Other dogs have had far less discipline, and each dog's different, and that's the point. If you don't educate or start to understand by watching video after video after video, how would you know how to train a dog to a very high standard? Because to train a dog to a very high standard is a skill. It's a skill set that you just don't pick up overnight. It takes years to master. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and I've got some wonderful memories that no one can take away those memories. Age catches up with us all eventually, but I can tell you that I remember this day as if it was clear could be. It was a wonderful day working this dog, working long distance, pushing him back, trusting him, letting him get out there and find birds, working him close distance, but having total control with birds dropping all around him while he's doing his job. His focus is on that bird that he's got in his mouth. He's not interested in anything else, but as he gives it back to me, he'll spin round and look out for the next one. And that's the wonderful thing about if you train them right. You put that mindset into them that they've got that drive and desire that you need if you want to have a good gun dog. Anybody screaming and shouting at a dog on the shoot all the time, they haven't trained it right. It's as simple as that. They've not trained it right. This dog had retrieve after retrieve after retrieve, probably 50-60 retrieves in this one drive this dog had, and that's one drive out of 9. We love our dogs, we have fun with our dogs, we have a bit of a laugh, and yet we're on a serious note as well, aren't we? We're on a serious note that the dog's got to do what I want it to do at the right time, and that's the important thing. I love my dogs. I've had such a wonderful life, and if I can pass on that knowledge to people out there who've been misled by this purely positive movement who says that everything can be done with love and affection, I wish it could. If it could, it would be easy, wouldn't it? It's knowing when to use discipline, when to use corrections, when to use praise, and when to use gameplay. It's creating balance. You're creating balance between you and the dog, and then you work as a team. And if you get it right, that teamwork is magical, that no one can give you that unless you've worked on it. If you've worked on it, I called that young dog back, look. I pushed him down for a bird. I called him back because he didn't get it. Someone else's dog came through the bottom of the wood and got it. I then sent him down for a bird that then came down. So he listened to me. He got a reward for listening to me. That's dog training. People want to tell you so many different methods of training. You can do it with love and affection. Show me the quality dogs who've been trained with just love and affection. Those dogs have taken over, trust me.